Most people wake up each morning already tired, not from effort, but from resistance. Resistance to the alarm clock, to responsibilities to other people, to life as it is. Complaining becomes the background noise of the day, so constant it feels invisible. Yet Stoicism begins with a blunt awakening. Every complaint is a quiet refusal to live the day you were given, not in the sense of blind optimism, but in the sense of responsibility. This is one of the most demanding and liberating lessons of Stoicism. Stop wasting energy arguing with reality and start becoming excellent in how you respond to it. Complaining weakens the mind by training it to look outward for excuses. Being your best every day strengthens the mind by training it to look inward for standards. Stoicism is not about suppressing hardship or pretending everything is fine. It is about refusing to let hardship turn you into someone smaller than you could be. To live this lesson requires practice, not inspiration. The Stoics understood that character is built through repeated actions, not occasional insights. Below is a practical Stoic process, the 5 steps that guide you away from complaining and toward being your best every single day, regardless of circumstances. Step 1. Recognize complaining as a loss of power. The first Stoic step is awareness. Complaining feels natural, even justified, but Stoicism asks you to see it clearly for what it is, a surrender of agency. When you complain, you implicitly say, "My inner state depends on something outside my control." That belief is the root of distress. Epictetus taught that the source of human suffering is not events themselves, but our judgments about them. Complaints are judgments disguised as facts. This shouldn't be happening. People shouldn't act this way. I deserve better. These statements feel reasonable, yet they create friction with reality. Reality does not negotiate. Stoicism does not tell you to deny difficulty. It tells you to separate the raw event from the story you add to it. Traffic is just traffic. A rude comment is just sound waves. A setback is just information. The suffering multiplies only when the mind insists that things must be different for peace to exist. Being your best begins when you notice this reflex and interrupt it. Instead of venting automatically, you pause and ask, "Is this within my control?" If not, complaining is useless. If yes, complaining is unnecessary. This realization alone can radically change how you move through the day. Step 2. Reclaim control through the Stoic dichotomy. The cornerstone of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to you, and some things are not. Your thoughts, choices, values, and actions belong to you. Everything else does not. Complaining lives almost entirely on the wrong side of this divide. To be your best every day, you must repeatedly bring your attention back to what you govern. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control outcomes, but you can control effort. You cannot control how the day unfolds, but you can control how you show up. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would encounter difficult people, delays, and frustrations, and that none of these could harm his character without his consent. This is not resignation. It is strategic clarity. Once you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free enormous mental energy. That energy can then be invested in excellence. Excellence in Stoic terms is not perfection or constant success. It is acting in alignment with reason and virtue in whatever situation arises. Even a bad day becomes an opportunity to practice patience, discipline, courage, or fairness. Complaining keeps you focused on what life failed to give you. Stoicism shifts your focus to what life is asking you to practice. Step 3. Replace complaints with purposeful action. Stoicism is action-oriented. The Stoics were not passive observers of life. They were soldiers, statesmen, teachers, and workers. Their philosophy was designed for real-world pressure. Once you identify what is within your control, The next step is to act decisively within that space. Every complaint contains a hidden signal. It points to something you care about. The Stoic move is to translate that signal into action. If you complain about feeling weak, train your body. If you complain about ignorance, study. If you complain about chaos, create order where you can. Seneca warned against mistaking talk for progress. Complaining creates the illusion of movement while keeping you stationary. Action, even imperfect action, restores dignity. Being your best every day does not mean solving everything. It means doing the next right thing without dramatizing the difficulty. This step also requires humility. Sometimes the correct action is acceptance, not intervention. If a situation cannot be changed, the Stoic chooses to change their relationship to it. Acceptance is not defeat. It is alignment with reality. Once aligned, you can move forward without internal resistance. A Stoic day is not measured by comfort, but by effort aligned with values. Did you act honestly? Did you restrain impulse? Did you do your duty as well as circumstances allowed? These are standards that remain available no matter what the day brings. Step 4. Practice daily self-discipline and reflection. Stoicism emphasizes daily training of the mind. Complaining is a habit, and habits are not broken by insight alone. They are replaced through disciplined practice. The Stoics use reflection as a tool to refine character, not to indulge guilt. At the end of the day, Seneca advised reviewing your actions. Where did I act well? Where did I fall short? What can I do better tomorrow? This is not self-criticism. It is self-responsibility. Complaining avoids accountability. Reflection embraces it. Being your best every day means holding yourself to standards regardless of mood. You do not wait to feel motivated to act well. You act well because that is who you are training yourself to become. Discipline for the Stoic is freedom from being ruled by impulse, emotion, or circumstance. This step also includes mental exercises like negative visualization, briefly imagining loss or difficulty. Far from pessimism, this practice builds gratitude and resilience. When you remember that everything you have is temporary, you complain less about inconveniences and appreciate more what remains. Over time, these practices rewire the mind. You become less reactive, less entitled, and more grounded. Complaints lose their grip because they no longer serve your identity. Step 5. Commit to excellence as a daily duty. The final Stoic step is commitment, not to happiness, comfort, or success, but to excellence of character. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a human being's purpose is to do what a human being is meant to do. Act with reason, integrity, and concern for the whole. Being your best every day does not mean outperforming others. It means fulfilling your role, however small or large, with care and seriousness. A Stoic does not ask, "What do I feel like doing today?" but "What does my role require of me today?" Complaining is incompatible with this mindset because it centers the self as a victim. Stoicism centers the self as a steward of time, attention, and ability. When you see each day as a duty rather than a burden, you stop asking life to entertain you and start asking how you can serve reality as it is. This commitment is renewed daily. There is no final arrival point where effort ends. Stoicism is not about winning once. It is about showing up consistently. Some days you will fall short. The Stoic response is not self-pity, but recommitment. Conclusion. Stoicism does not promise an easy life. It promises a meaningful one. Complaining will always be available. It is the path of least resistance, but it leads to stagnation, resentment, and weakness of character. Being your best every day is harder. It requires awareness, discipline, and courage. Yet it is the only path that leads to self-respect. When you stop complaining, you stop outsourcing your peace. When you commit to excellence, you reclaim authorship over your life. This is it for now. If today's Stoic lesson resonated with you, be sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss out on future videos. Thank you.